Hello and welcome to Sports Tonight. I'm Cecilia Mogbe, right here in our Lagos studio.
What greetings to you wherever you are in the world watching us. In London, I'm Austin Okonakwan.
Yes, Austin, it's a loaded package today. When I mean loaded, it's a whole lot here. So talking about the men and, of course, women. You know, on Tuesday, the focus was on the women. They were winning too much. We didn't have a choice than just to keep celebrating them. But today, at least, we have a balance. Yes, to be fair. Yeah, a balance. So we'll be starting the show with track and field athletics. We have the new champion right here in our Lagos studio. The new champion for the 110 meters hurdles for the men. He's joining us on the show live. You get to see him later on. Yes, we'll be talking about Ashleigh Plumptre. Austin caught up with her in London. And of course, she has a lot to say concerning the ripple effect the WAFCON will have on the young girl on the street. And of course, what we can learn from that in terms of developing the women's game and also building a structure. You hear from her on the show tonight. And yes, the Chan is going on. We will talk about that. Not the Super Eagles Team B. We will leave them for a while. But talk about other teams that are in action today. And of course, some of the games that went down on Wednesday night. Yes, we'll also be talking about sports development in Delta State. They're doing something remarkable. The Warri Township Stadium is being refurbished or being reconstructed because they want to add a whole lot to it to make it both entertainment and sports. That's what they are thinking about. So much more on the show tonight. Yes, let me introduce the guest because Austin introduced the last one the other time. Yes, he's right here with me in the studio, Emeka Onwaeze. How are you doing? It's great to have you on the show tonight.
I'm doing good. How are you?
Okay. I love your smile.
Thank you.
So he is the 110 meters hurdle champion at the national trials that was just concluded in Lagos, and he's right here in the studio. He's got a whole lot of stories to tell us. But Austin, yes, before he starts talking, Austin, I know you followed the national trials. You know, the stories that came out from it. We're not going to dwell on the negatives, but then on the positives, some of the things that came out from the national trials.
I like it, Cecilia. You know, I've always talked about the national trials as one that we can actually use to remind ourselves, you know, as a country that we used to be solid with athletics. You know, any opportunity for us to have the elite guys come back home to compete and actually show that they want to. It's like having a sneak peek into what they can give to us when they go to the World Championships or any international events. And yes, just like you, I don't want to talk about the negatives. I'm just glad that the superstars are back home doing their things. We're talking about new champions. Emeka is right there with you in Lagos, you know, talking about him becoming the champion in the 110 meters hurdles. So, Cecilia, generally it is good, but we know the problems will remain problems until we do something about them. Particularly, there's just something about the face of athletics in Nigeria with the infrastructure, with the organization. It just shows that it's just horribly put together, and that needs to stop. But with the performances, and I want to say kudos to everyone that goes out there and give us reasons to cheer for them, Cecilia.
All right, kudos to everyone. Of course, to Emeka here, who came all the way from the US. Your first time in Nigeria, Emeka, and of course, your first time in Lagos. Yeah. At first, you went to Ijebu. They were thinking it was going to, no, Abeokuta, yes. MK Abiola Stadium. We thought that's where it was going to hold. But then what athletes had to like send the signal, you know what, that's not standard enough. They had to come back to Lagos. Yeah, but what was that transition for you? Having to quickly, you thought this was going to be the place. All of you were there, but then moving to Lagos before the trials was held.
Mentally, just always prepared. Wherever God takes me, I'll go. So I knew it was going to be challenging. I heard stories that it might change. Always wanted to contact anyone I could find. The journey to get there was not easy. Reaching out, making sure I was registered. I wanted to know the process. I didn't really know the process, but I was able to find out last minute, and I was just blessed to be able to compete.
Oh, wow. You didn't have anyone actually putting you through it all. I mean, you also have technical teams, you know, communicating with you guys, the steps you need to take. You didn't have all that.
Yeah, so I just graduated from Cal Poly Pomona with a bachelor's degree in kinesiology. And I wanted to compete for Nigeria. I saw the trials.
Wait, come again. You have a master's degree in what?
Bachelor's degree in kinesiology.
Okay, bachelor. I thought it was a master's degree. I was going to like, okay.
Yeah, so bachelor's degree in kinesiology. Yeah. So I just competed at the Division II national trials.
NCAA.
In Colorado, yes.
Yeah.
And I wanted to compete for Nigeria. I wanted to go to the trials. I had a chance to go out there, compete. My time was fast enough. And I made an Instagram account, and I just started posting myself, saying, this is my name. My name is Nnamdi. I'm from the U.S. I do hurdles. Could you please post me on your media page? Media pages like Making Up Championships, Athletic Heat. They gave me a space to share my words, so that's how I got out here.
Interesting, and of course, and then you ran. It was 14.19 seconds. I mean, that's the time you ran, which was, of course, a good finish for you. But then, no, 14.13 seconds.
Yes, 14.13.
Yeah, 13 seconds, yes. It was Musa who had 14.19 seconds. And that, of course, was that your personal best?
No.
No, obviously,
No.
obviously not. Well, I mean, was it the process of you coming in that actually made it for it to be hard, made it difficult for you to actually, get your personal best?
I believe it was more mental. Physically, adjusting, jet lag, those things were kind of difficult to deal with. But mentally, just going back and forth, staying focused, making sure I'm ready to race, that, nothing goes wrong, just staying focused, having faith. So that was the main challenge. Just crossing the line probably was the hardest part, I would say.
The picture we're going to see much later, but I need to throw this back to Austin. Maybe Austin will need to start from there.
Let me ask you the same question I asked Toby Lover Musan when I first met her. Why the hurdles?
Why the hurdles? Oh, it's not a
Why
Mecca. It's Nnamdi.
Nnamdi.
Yes, I keep on hearing the Mecca. I keep on hearing the Mecca. But hurdles, I had faith in my coach, Coach Schropp in high school. I was a 400 runner, and he said, you're kind of getting tall. I had a late growth spurt around 11th grade, and he said, you know what, I think you could be a hurdler. So I didn't like the 110 at first, and he just kind of forced me to keep going at it, and I just had faith in it, and it led me here.
I mean, 110 hurdles.
Sorry about that, Nnamdi. Talk to us about this picture that we're seeing now.
So that's my auntie, Princess Onwaeze. She's no longer with us. She passed away in 2021. And we had a long conversation one time in our village in Onitshubo, Delta State. She told me, you're just live in the U.S., that you're Nigerian born, and you must represent Nigeria. And she told me that when you do, I'll be there. But unfortunately, she was not. So I had to bring her along for the ride, and I just wanted to carry that journey with me. Yeah.
That's
I mean, that's a story really that is really, interesting. I love the fact that you were able to bring it down. I mean, you knew you were going to win, right? You had it in the back of your mind because that's why you came with this picture. I mean, what was that moment for you? What was it like? I mean, being able to put her out there, let people know she was the inspiration.
It was a part of just me sharing my story and my process of how I got there, my collegiate career. I remember my first year I moved in. It was right after COVID, and I had a picture of her. I always have it in my room. You can ask anyone. It's always in my dorm. And I kept it there. I've had a lot of injuries my first 2 years during college. Groin injury my freshman year, hamstring injury my sophomore year. Junior year, redshirted, so I didn't run at all. I thought about just stopping, pursuing my career. I wanted to be a physical therapist. And I was just working out one day with my dog, and I was like, I'm too fit to be, just give up my sport. And I've been doing it for such a long time. So I put my head down. I was like, I'll do it. I told my parents, I'm not going to stop track. I'm going to keep going. They encouraged me to keep going, and it's led me here. So I'm just happy.
What was it like switching? I mean, you were born in the U.S., right? And then you're an American by birth. And switching, to Nigerian, but taking that Nigerian passport, switching allegiance to Nigeria. What was it like for you? Process, was it hard?
No, my parents raised me well. Kind of my name is Nnamdi Adeboye Onwaeze, so my dad's...
What's Adeboye doing in between?
My mom's Yoruba, my dad's Igbo, so they kind of mixed it all in together. So I was raised very well. I was raised with a lot of culture. I have an older sister and a younger brother, so we're raised in a very tight-knit family, and it taught me well, about my culture. Since 10, I've been visiting Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
I mostly visit my dad's side in Onitshubo, Delta State. And he has a fundraiser, Kojo, education fundraiser, where we give back to children, like pencils, notebooks, small things, giving out clothes. So I'm always been in the community. And I usually just work out you know, in my village, have kids come around, teach them little things, lunges, push-ups, just encouraging them to just do their best. And I always love being back in Nigeria, so.
Also, you know, there's something you always say, that educational sports make you a civil superstar. So we have one right here in the studio, don't you think?
Right. I think so, absolutely, Nnamdi, and I'm super duper proud of you.
Thank you.
Nnamdi, tell me, because there are young persons watching, they hope to be like you. How important is it for us to mix sports with education?
I feel like sports and education go hand in hand, especially during my college career. You have to. It's very important because, especially in my field, I like to connect with a lot of athletes, and having that venue to go outside of your sport to do something else that can impact the community, I feel like it's very important. So education is very key.
Let's talk about your experience when you got on the tartan track right there in Nigeria. What's the difference? If you're doing it in the States, when you got on that track, started, you know, overcoming the hurdles, what's the difference?
Difference? I feel like there's no real difference. I take every race the same way. Every race has a new meaning, and I believe you just have to mentally go attack it. The environment was a little bit different. It wasn't as loud, wasn't as, I would say, tense. So I was just run my race, keep my head down, hurdle by hurdle, I'll just take it. So that was my mindset.
Awesome.
I mean, I'm just watching the race, watching the trials, and seeing, you know, what you did right here. I mean, that composure you had till the final moment in that 110 hurdles. Oh, okay, last hurdle actually fell. But the composure till the end, and that exciting, you had so much in the tank, still running. This moment, I mean, how much did this mean for you? I mean, going into the World Championship, of course, that's what is next. And you still have more races to go before you go to the World Championships.
So, yeah, just going through the race, I knew I had the speed to win. I had a personal best of 13.63 coming in. So I was just trying to stay focused. I knew I had the talent to win. I knew I was the only person that was going to beat myself. So I just had to, you know, keep my head down and stay focused. That was the main thing.
Which was perfect for you. But we would love to actually go on and on and on in this one. But then, Champ, thank you so much for taking our time to be in the studio tonight.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
We hope to have more of you because I want to see you at the World Championships.
Yes, soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, let's listen to Ashleigh Plumptre, of course. Austin caught up with her in London, in the Nigerian house. I will listen to her, and of course, you know, he's going to join us. Is it Thursday? So, Ballon Money will be right here in the studio after this.
Your visit to the Nigeria house, does it make you resonate one more time with the motherland?
Yeah, honestly, just being there for the week of celebrations was incredible. I've only been to Nigeria for football camp, so to experience going, obviously as a winner alongside the team, seeing some of my family, being able to be in Abuja and in Lagos as well and celebrate in both places was something that whole week will stay with me for the rest of my life.
This victory, what does it mean, and what can it do for the girl child in Nigeria and Africa in general?
Yeah, it's huge. I think all of us as players, we know the responsibility that we have. I always say, especially like the young people that I'm around, obviously we're in a privileged position to be in a position where a lot of young girls would like to get to, and I think a lot of them look up to us to a point where they want to be able to follow in our footsteps. But I think one thing I try and emphasize to young people is everybody will have their own unique journey to getting there, and I really do believe in how the journey feels rather than the end goal. Like for me, the end goal when I was younger, it was never to be a professional footballer. I always encourage young people to listen to their intuition, to themselves, their own dreams, try not to like get too distracted by outside noise, and just try and follow in. Sure, like be inspired, but there isn't another version of you, you know? So you put your footprint on your journey, and then you then become that person for other young people then to look up to.
Fantastic. This victory, are you confident it can transform women's football in Nigeria?
Yeah, I think obviously the team has had success for many, many years, and obviously with women's football being bigger now, it's nice that, and I wasn't expecting how big it was when we won. I knew what it meant for people, but I don't think I really knew how much it meant for Nigerians, for women's football in Nigeria and West Africa and Africa as a whole. But I think the important thing is, like, when you're successful, there's a lot of attention when you've won, but then it's the what next, and then sustaining any level of support or backing. And obviously a lot of people have appreciated us, and you know, they've congratulated us and said how much it's meant to the nation. But I think the next thing is like, well, then what can this success do? Obviously when you talk about what it can do for the girl child, like, we don't want this just to be a celebration of like a week, 2 weeks, 1 month. It has to then infiltrate down into academy systems, into the setup in Nigeria. How can we make these opportunities more accessible to young people, so that when we talk about young people having a dream, it's so easy for us to say, you know, have a dream and it can come true. But I think that's sometimes wishful thinking. Like, there are certain things that have to be put in place to support young people to get those opportunities. So I hope that's the next thing.
And when the Super Falcons were lifting the trophy, the Lionesses were also winning the Euros again. How does that make you feel?
Amazing. Honestly, I was following their journey at the same time that I was out in Morocco. And I grew up playing with some of the girls from a young age. So to be able to see their success and sustain success and see how much it's changing football in this country is incredible. Because obviously when I grew up playing with those girls, we were just playing, just enjoying football. We didn't know what it would amount to. And for me, obviously, being born here and brought up here, just to see how women's football has grown and to see how successful some of these girls have been. And I know them as separate from a footballer. I know them as people, and I know that they're good people. So it's nice that they are role models that I don't know, I'm happy that like young people, like my younger siblings, can look up to them, because they're more than just footballers.
How special is it representing Nigeria?
Yeah, this is a question I don't think with my answer I can ever really put it into words, because it far goes beyond football. I didn't know, like, when I stepped into this journey, I didn't really know what it would look like or what I even expected. For me, I didn't need to know, but it was just kind of walking. I like to use the phrase like stepping into my truth. So it's something that I felt that I was connected to and I wanted to explore. And yeah, I mean, like, I've now become more connected to part of my heritage in so many ways. And I'm just looking forward to slowly uncovering more and more, you know, like even after this win, like going to Nigeria, experiencing Nigeria in a completely different way than just going there to play football, even bringing family members together that we've never done before, like things like that. I just hope is like a trickle-on effect from, you know, football in particular in Nigeria, but also like for myself, my journey, and then hopefully people who see my journey and it resonates with them a little bit.
Resonates. I mean, when you listen to Ashleigh, you just want her to keep talking because she has a lot in that tank. The second part of that interview, you get to listen to it tomorrow on the show. Bolu is right here in the studio. Bolu, you listen to our new champ in the building. I mean, that's Raisewell, right?
Oh, it felt like, well, first of all, good to be here again. Good to be here with you after a very long time. And you said some things that are key, to be raised well. You cannot take that away. Although, you can also take away learning the kind of raising they were given. There are some people, they were raised well, but decided to choose their path as well. And he also spoke about falling and picking yourself up. After falling on the other side, persons just give it up there, say, no more going back. And education and sports can work together. That's another definition of it.
Yeah, and that's actually alluded to that. Austin, thank you so much for that interview, you know, with her, because sometimes we just focus on the winning, but she's trying to educate us and tell us that, look, outside the winning, yes, success comes with it. It's not the first time, it's the 10th time. I mean, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that we won, nothing has come out of it. I mean, the 10th time, yes, you're having everybody, you know, coming in, trying to, you know, latch on the success that these girls have recorded. Thank God for some brands that have been there from the very beginning, you know, these telecommunications and all of them. But the others are just trying to, oh, you know what, oh, Falcons won, let's just, you know, capture the glory and add something to us. But she said something about the girl out there who wants to dream. What does she have to dream about? Where are the infrastructure? Where are the things you need to see, you know, that you can look at and say, you know what, I want to be like Ashleigh. Where is the path that has been created? It's hard to see that because some of these players on their own, I mean, they do most of the things on their own, and then, okay, Yeah.
I know, Ilya. You know, she even said it should even go down to the academies, you know, that this is what they want to be remembered for, not just about winning. But we
Yeah.
talk about this all the time. We just hope that our leaders will listen, you know, someday and start doing the right thing. Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Let's go on this quick break. Now, when we come back, I'm sure you know there's still so much more to talk about because it's an action-packed world of sports. Don't go anywhere. Stay. Welcome back, Sports Tonight, on your award-winning sports-loving channels television. We're talking about Ashleigh Plumptre and some of the things that she talked about, you know, particularly with Nigeria sustaining the legacy of winning a 10th WAFCON title. Bolu, I'm sure when she was speaking, you were nodding your head and agreeing to everything she was saying. Can we really do those things?
It's possible. It's difficult. One of the things I tell people is, and it's shown everywhere in the world, sometimes it's not money. It just requires vision. If someone sees it, then you have people that will help you implement it. Myself, we're discussing off air that with our style in Nigeria, even education for example, is hard, it's difficult. Abroad, I don't think there's any school that doesn't. You must do arts. Arts comprised of the music, the drama, everything, or sport. You have to do something. So those things are intentional. We can talk about, oh, there's no money. No. If we are intentional about these things, then they are possible. It's not just having the ideas. We need people that can make these things work. Look at what Nnamdi said. He was doing his schooling, at the same time he was competing. Ginger go day body, like they say, the local palace to work on these things. But when we don't even care about them, it's time to run through something. Let's gather people together. Look at the preparation the Falcons had. Look at the preparation the Tigers had. These girls probably went all out with the ginger, the Niger spirit that we have to win these things. Imagine if we now plan the right way. We have what it takes to do these things, but those at the helm of affairs don't have the vision for it. And if they don't, no matter what we talk about, no matter what we do, it just feel like wishful thinking and it will not work. Yeah. Hopefully, we can put these things into plan. Austin, we have these talents. Bring any sport to Nigeria today. We will have people that work on it, but it just stops on the surface.
We're too blessed, you know, Cecilia. Before you take it, let's go back to that video of Ashleigh Plumptre getting into the Nigeria house in London. And it was a special moment when we walked in, and I liked it so much. So if the video comes on, I know I'll just go through it. And I told my cameraman to, you know, start rolling. And it was good to see that, because Channels Television, we are international and we've got a rich presence in the United Kingdom. So when Ashleigh walked in, she was like, oh, I see it on Channels TV. And that really made me feel cool. So if that video comes up again, so we just get to see it. I needed to put that out. It was a special moment. She sat down there and she was watching. And she said, oh, is this where they're going to show me? I said, yeah, that's it. As you can see, it's right here in the UK. We're big, we're popular, and actually the best. So she sat down on that lovely couch. Right there, you see that. And it was on Channels Television. You know, it was a proud moment for me. I liked it so much. Everybody walking into the Nigeria house in London, they are watching Channels Television. That's the champ right there. Also feasting on it, Cecilia. So that's my bragging moment.
I know. No wonder she's always like, okay, oh, Channels TV Lagos. She was always saying that in Morocco. When we were in Morocco, each time I talk to her, you know, all through the tournament, so Channels Television Lagos. I'm like, okay, now she understands. It's not just Lagos, it's everywhere. That's a big moment. Yes, okay. Austin, you've taken that. All right. Now, let's stay with the Super Falcons, of course. I mean, when you win, more things are coming in. The Ballon d'Or, okay. For the men, 30 players nominated, not even one. I looked at him like, what's going on? Okay, we'll leave it there. But then let's celebrate the ones that we have, our players, and of course, our coaches. For the Women's Coach of the Year, you have Coach, of course, Justin Madugu right there. And Chiamaka Nnadozie, you can't have the top 5 without having her. That's just natural.
First of all, the main thing, they will say we don't play the race game, but if some Oyinbo people have Osimhen's numbers and trophies, they'll probably make it to the list of nominations. But let's celebrate the ones that are there. Justin Madugu, who won the title, obviously, you have to be there. I keep telling people, if you are not counting Chiamaka Nnadozie as the greatest African goalkeeper yet, in the next few years, maybe because she's still active, she's going to go down as the greatest African goalkeeper. That girl is good. Even though I don't like the transfer that it has to be Brighton. There are top clubs you could have gone to. But whichever way, Chiamaka Nnadozie is a brilliant goalkeeper, either in real time, making saves, keeping clean sheets, saving penalties. She is the GOAT of African football, and this nomination is not surprising to me at all. At all. She deserves to be there. Yeah. Hopefully, even if she doesn't win, at least maybe start breaking in top 3, and very soon she may end up becoming #1.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming really, Austin. If you check what she earned her place, the best goalkeeper at WAFCON, and of course, also team of the tournament, she's also there. So that tells you, consider just how many goals, 3. In all, in total 2 in the final, of course, 1 the penalty against South Africa, all through. And I mean, you just want to know how many goals Nigeria scored. So that shows how important she is. And of course, for those that have been talking about Justin Madugu, about he was just lucky. Some say it's grace, some say it's a miracle. Okay, you go out there and do the miracle. Go out there and let the grace follow you. But this man shows that, yes, he understands something is really working for him. And I love the fact that he got this nomination in the top 5.
The thing is, I don't know where this mindset comes from. Many people just believe if it's not foreign, it's not going to work. In fact, I was on a radio show where some persons called, some sent message that they want Nigeria to lose the final so we can employ a foreign manager. I said to myself, the last 2 foreign managers, we saw how Thomas Deneby struggled to get there. We saw how Randy Waldron lost even in the top place. But now we have an indigenous coach. No matter what you say, the end justifies the means. Yes, I think Serena Wegman is going to win it, the English national team. But the fact that Justin Madugu is here is a win enough for me. When last did we have a Nigerian manager that gets to break into the battle? So I think I'm happy for him. Everything is just working out well for him. From all the talk downs out, this guy go mess up, he won't do well. To get into the final, he was lucky. They were 2-0 down. We said it is a useless coach. To winning, coming down from 2 goals down and winning. No matter what you say about him, he's a champion. And now his name has been called among the top 5 coaches in the world. I think that alone for me is a win for Justin Madugu.
Yeah, obviously, let's just take a look at, I mean, the Women's Johan Cruyff Trophy nominees. They are, starting out with Sonia Babosta of Chelsea and Arthur Elias of Brazil, Justin Madugu, of course, of Nigeria, Renée Fernandes of Arsenal, and you have Serena Wigman of England. So these are your nominees. Who's going to win it? Fingers crossed. Euros, I don't know. Yeah, you have Euros, you have the Copa America for the women. I mean, everything going on at the same time. It's a whole lot, really. And of course, Arsenal winning the Champions League this season for the very first time. A lot to play in that order. Now, let's take a look at the goalkeeper of the year, Anne Katrin Berger of Gotham FC. She's also played for the German national team. Cotta Cole of Barcelona plays for Spain. Anna Humphrey of Chelsea, and England, of course, they won the Euros. Chiamaka Nnadozie of Brighton of Nigeria, and Dafinda Domsala, Arsenal, and the Netherlands. So the fact that she won the Champions League with Arsenal, we also have a lot about that. Yes, this is where you have it. Austin, we're going to chip in something, right?
I love it, and I love this story for Chiamaka Nnadozie, and it's a clear testament again that if we invest in the grassroots, if we invest in youth, that we reap it. The longevity she's enjoying, she and Rashida Ajibade, was simply because they joined the national team very early, still I think 16 or 17, and look at how we're talking about her now. Everyone knows the name, and I'm so happy for Chiamaka because she has now come to a country where you just need one moment, and the media will amplify it. And everybody will be talking about you. She has joined Brighton Women's Football Club. So yeah. I like it. The nomination is just enough pride for us as Nigerians, and Africa in general, that we've got somebody in that conversation when you talk about the world's best. And for Justin Madugu, I said it on the show. I don't know if you were part of the show when I said that right after that victory against Zambia. Something changed, Coach Justin Madugu, football understanding, pumped up from 50% to about 90 in my books. How he interpreted the game, how he talked about his players, his knowledge and understanding of strategies and then substitutions, everything changed. He gave me a different perspective about winning and victory. Because sometimes people win and then they drop the balls. But that win against Zambia, because Cecilia, I remember that was like his biggest test.
Yes.
After that draw against Algeria, everyone started saying everything they needed to say that was negative about the team, And that Zambia game brought so much pressure. Zambia took Nigeria out of the last competition, made us in podium. And now we're going to meet Zambia again. People are talking about Barbara Banda, people are talking about Coach Hoptool and what she can bring. And Coach Justin Madugu just had to do a reflection, look at the quality of his team, and everything changed. Congratulations, Coach Madugu. Get all the praise, all the glory that you deserve. Look, people will always criticize things they don't know. So let those that are talking talk, they are negative. And for us who understand the work they have put into the team, we say congratulations.
Yeah, and those that have been asking, what's his pedigree? Now you know, right? You don't need to ask so much. I'm like, it's so easy when you ask, what's his pedigree? You just have to go. I mean, Google is your friend. Just go there and check. He's got 2 master's degree and everything, so he's well educated. So he's not like spring chicken. You know, 2018, yes, he was right there with Coach Nnadozie. He was there with Randy Wardrum. He was also part of the backroom staff, so the technical crew. So when you look at the process, the progress he's made all through, it's there. And then people keep asking the question, like, do you even know who you're talking about? So when I hear, especially journalists, I won't say like us, because if they're real journalists, I mean, they will have to, just check the facts. The facts are there. You don't need to, be on social media and everything and tweeting rubbish. Yeah, but you just need to understand and say, that this person, this is what he's worth. And then you know that you have to respect him. I'm happy that he's getting all this. And then with this, Ballon d'Or nominee. What else?
Well, there's a phrase that, I won't call their name, there's a group of people that argue with facts. There's a word for them. Anything you have no idea about, you don't understand, the internet is easier these days. Just check on the internet and who is this person? Like you rightly reeled out, he's been there for a while, not as the main man, but he's been in the back room doing his work. And I believe, I may not like a few things, like Austin rightly said, especially in the group phase, I didn't rate him that much. I was hovering around maybe just 50%, but I had this belief that every time the Super Falcons fail to win the WAFCON, the next edition, they always win. That at worst, these girls will run through. Then, from then on, especially in the final, he didn't make his late subs, he didn't bring DMs, he read the game perfectly and did what needed to be done. Unfortunately, he worked out well. If you can't give kudos to someone like that, well, I think it's just coming more from the place of hate, more than the place of maybe criticism or no. You just don't like him. And I'm sure Madugu doesn't care. If you ask him, who is this guy, he will show you his medal. I'm a WAFCON champion. How many of your so-called people have it? I'm sure some person will say, he can now brag to the NFF. I'm not giving me a contract, I can work out because he's the champion. Hopefully this continues from now. There's another WAFCON next year, and there's a World Cup 2 years after that. Who knows? He can probably even be Nigeria's best manager at the World Cup ever.
Yeah, I think that continuity is actually important, Austin, because we have a way of, okay, you tried, you won, let's try someone else. But I think if we continue with him, we might just be going somewhere. Because I spoke with him, when one of these telecommunications giants actually hosted the Falcons, so breakfast. And he talked about the fact that he's still building. There's so many players out there that didn't even make this team. You just have to pick the ones you feel okay, because he has just 2 international friendlies windows to be able to pick his team. There's so many other players he's looking at. He already have a plan for October. That's when we're playing our first qualifiers, of course, against Benin Republic. He's got the plans already. The template is ready. That program is there. So if you scuttle this, you go back. So I just hope NFF will give him his contract.
We have been through this road before. Somebody will wake up tomorrow and say, let's make small changes and see ways that we can. I listened to Coach Madugu talking at one of the post-match conferences at the WAFCON, and he was reminding us how long Desiree Ellis has been on the Bayana job, and how much experience she's got in the WAFCON. So for us to go out there and be beating such a team, it tells you that we have the quality. What we lack is the investment and the attention that South Africa has given to their own football. So yeah, continuity matters, is a big deal. Let's not even forget that what Coach Justin Madugu is enjoying is a bit of partial continuity, because he was he was part of Coach Randy Wardrum. If he was entirely new to this team, Cecilia, there's no, so I agree with you 100%. Continuity is very, very important, particularly with coaching.
Yeah, I hope they can actually do that. I know we can spend the whole show talking about this, because it's always interesting when you talk about success, you understand what I mean. All right, let's talk about development. I know, Austin, you're big on this one, so I'll hand it over to you. Delta State, what are they up to this time around?
Cecilia, I've said it over and over again that it's very important for us to give attention to infrastructure. That's one sector that we really need to give proper attention to if we want to develop sports in Nigeria. So the governor, Governor Sheriff, are doing an inspection on the work going on at the Warri Stadium. Cecilia, if you go to that Warri Stadium and you are not immunized, you will come out with all sorts of diseases. So it's good to see that they have said, look, this is a stadium that has got some rich history also, and they want to put it back into proper use. So let's listen to some of the talking points coming out of that one.
We have come to inspect this job, what they are doing here, and we're also trying to introduce hospitality suites. We are still planning whether that will be doable. Even on the first award, there's no hospitality suite. So, in line with the modern kind of stadium now, if you put hospitality suites, that will even encourage a lot of people to use this place for matches and all that. So, we initially we were planning to build a brand new stadium. We've done a lot of consultation to get a big land. There's no way we can get any land now in Warri more than this land. So we just said, okay, what do we do? Let's do with what we have. And doing with what we have, we want to give them the best. And I believe that by the time this place is completed, in terms of quality, the Warri people will be happy. Not only Warri people, anybody that comes here for match, for other games, very happy. So we're very sure that the contractor will deliver very good time.
So that's Governor Sheriff of Delta State right there. Cecilia will help me with the surname later. But Bolu, I don't know what we need to say to our sports administrators, not just sports administrators, leadership generally in Nigeria. We just love to build and renovate. Maintenance, that's the issue, isn't it?
Well, you picked that straight out of my mouth. That's what I was just thinking to myself. Can someone tell Governor Sheriff that that's the easiest job, to build it? You have to maintain. I read recently that Uyo State, Akwa Ibom government, they renewed to maintain the Uyo Stadium. That's the hardest part. You have to maintain. When I read that stadiums like Old Trafford, Santiago Bernabeu, Emirates, and like that, some of these stadiums are over 50 years. Some of these stadiums are running into 100 years. You ask yourself, how are they still standing? Maintenance. It is literally the most important thing you have to do, because to build is easy. If you don't do anything to it, the same things you enjoyed and celebrated will wither away. You need to find a way. Maintenance culture is one of the things we don't like, and it is the most important. Hopefully, after the whole building construction, we'll do a party to unveil, we'll do ceremony. Hopefully it doesn't end there. In the next 10 years, another government won't start building again. Maintenance culture is very important. And I hope Governor Sheriff will be one of those that will imbibe that.
I hope so. So I love the fact that, it's going to be like a FIFA standard pitch. And of course, you're going to have underground drainage system, Olympic-sized swimming pool, and possibly, you mentioned hospitality suites in, according to FIFA standard. That's really important, Austin. That's what we're going to. It's not about building, but building the right structure. Now, the story coming from athletics, we didn't like that. I mean, how do you already say you're going to have a national trials in a particular stadium, and they tell you the track does not meet the standard world athletics, and that stadium was just built or renovated, whatever name they want to use. So it wasn't even good enough for it. So we need to build something that is good enough that we can boldly say, oh, when you want to play a CAF Champions League, for instance, and when you want to host a tournament, for instance, FIFA can say, yes, this is the standard. I think that's where we should be at this moment. Not just building anything buildable, but something that is sustainable, that is, standard practice. That's what is really needed this time around.
Yeah.
Okay, we can leave that now, right? Let's leave it, and hopefully they do that. I hope they're listening. Let's quickly talk about this one, the Chan, right? I mean, you've been enjoying it, right? Except the Chan.
Why Super Eagles lost? Oh, I'm not enjoying this. And I'm not the loss. That goal was high.
They lost to defending champions.
It's not that they lost. It's the goal they conceded. That goal was
Where
horrible.
was the goalkeeper?
Why was the defender waiting for goalkeeper to come in the midfield? But again, I think the wait, the postponing and everything, we can see proper planning at the end of the day. The competition has been going well. The only but for me,
fans are coming to the stadium.
it's just the Super Eagles lost. But again, the good news is they played the best team thus far. So it means they are playing the two other weaker teams, Congo and Sudan. Fortunately, they also played out the draw. It means even from second game, Nigeria can go second. Hopefully, they get to win. And Senegal, that's their game. 1-0, 2-1. And that's game over. They don't score much and they don't consider it. So it's not even that bad. It's just the manner of the goal they consider that paid me the most. But again, they are playing no disrespect to them, but the two weakest teams in the group. So hopefully we get to bounce back against Sudan.
Call them weak. Go to CAF Champions League, CAF Confederations Cup, see how they deal with your team in Nigeria. Right, let's look at Group A results, from the African Nations Championship that is being hosted by 3 nations. DR Congo and Zambia. DR Congo winning by 2-0. Angola and Kenya, one of the host nations. This game ended 1-0. This was a crack. I mean, we monitored this game. It was something else. Angola thought they were running away with it until the VAR had to draw them back and tell them, look, there was an offside rule that happened. And so it ended 1-0. Let's take a look at other results coming from the African Nations Championship taking place in Kenya, Uganda, and of course Rwanda. That's a lot. You have other results coming. If we have them quickly, we'll just run through the other results. Okay, let's take a look at fixtures. Okay, now that says we'll just leave it and let it be. But this is the fixtures for Thursday. Algeria, South Africa, and Guinea and Uganda will also be in action. So, Austin, overall, what have you seen in this CHAN that is different from what? Okay, we're not going to compare. What have you seen in this CHAN that is the postponement? Was it worth the wait, really?
I was the first to criticize that postponement, so I want to stay on it. And Bolu just mentioned too. I think it watered it down a bit because there's something about tournaments when teams are playing qualifiers for it. For some coaches, that is already long-term planning. You're looking at the team, you're looking at the shape, conditioning, and with the CHAN where you have a very small window that if you don't play it, players would have been gone. Like this Super Eagles team, you could tell that it's missing quite a lot of qualities. I mean, if Xavier was in this team, he probably would have made a lot of difference in midfield. So, yeah, overall, not bad. I think Senegal showed why they are defending champions in that match. Kenya and Angola, the game just ended 1-1. You could tell teams like Congo still show sparks of brilliance, but I like the fact that the Super Eagles, they still have a chance because Sudan and Congo play themselves out, so they need to come out and play. But the quality, there's just something that is still missing. Maybe we'll wait till the second and third round of group games, Cecilia, and then we can start talking about if it's meeting expectations or not. But I love the fact that we have an opportunity to talk about African football again. That's the show in London. I'm Austin Okonakpan. In everything you do, remember to keep talking sports. Bye for now.
Bolu, I mean, it's been a while, but it was nice doing this with you again.
So it's a pleasure coming around.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a good night, right?